Hello, I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer Magazine, reporting to you from downtown Modesto, headquarters of the Almond Board of California. I'm here with Josette Lewis, the Chief Science Officer. She oversees the research going on at the Almond Board, which is a lot, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot going on, and as growers finish up harvest and thinking about the next thing with pollination season and getting those cover crops down. In the meantime, I wanted to talk with Josette here to give us some updates on what the Almond Board is doing to support growers, particularly around pollination.
Yeah, so I think as every grower knows, the cost of pollination has gone up quite substantially in the last 10 years. It's actually now a pretty substantial part of your annual cost of production. So we do recognize that. And we've got a couple of different areas of research and outreach that hopefully will help reduce those costs or stabilize them for growers. One is we just started this year a research project to potentially reevaluate stocking rate recommendations for almond growers. Most commonly it's 2 hives, 6 to 8 frames per hive. So it comes up to about $400 per acre. So that's a big chunk of change for a grower. And there's some reasons to believe, anecdotally and through kind of back-of-the-envelope calculations, that we might be able to get by with less. So that would be a great cost savings. Also, a lot of discussion about whether self-compatible varieties, things like Independence, actually do or do not need bees. So we want to really make sure that we answer that question with confidence for growers. That's one line of work. It'll probably be a couple of years before we have the answers to that, with a lot of confidence that we'd go out and change the recommendations. But the other thing is that this year we're really trying to encourage growers to consider a cover crop as another way to both invest in bee health and invest in a great pollination season. I think this year is a great example where you don't have to be a scientist to understand how valuable bees are to our crop. We had one of the most extraordinary pollination periods this last spring, more days where the temperatures were optimal for bees, and that's a big part of the incredible harvest that we're seeing this year. So great bees translate into a really good almond harvest. So one other way, besides using the bee best management practices, which are foundational, I hope everyone who's hearing this already knows what those are, knows where to get them on our website. It's a really spectacular resource for growers. But a cover crop is the next step that you can take. Doesn't necessarily work for everybody, but I think our research shows it can actually work in all parts of the valley. It somewhat depends on what Mother Nature throws us, if we get rain to get good establishment. But here's a really low-cost or no-risk way for you to take that on. This year, the Almond Board is sponsoring what we call the Bee Plus Scholarship. We will cover the cost of up to $2,000 of free cover crop seed that's specifically designed to help with pollinators, really help you keep those bees in the orchard, keep them healthy so they'll return next year with your beekeeper. Up to $2,000 of free cover crop seed, you can contact Project Apis M, or you go to our website and get the contact information. In addition, to even increase the value to growers, we're also sponsoring free registration for something called the Bee-Friendly Farming Program. This is run by another non-governmental organization called Pollinator Partnership, and it allows you to put on your marketing materials, on your product, the Bee-Friendly Farming logo. So this is a chance for you to get credit in the marketplace for the work that you do to provide a healthy and nutritious environment in almond orchards for honeybees and other pollinators. So we'll cover the cost of registering for that program. If you participate in the California Almond Sustainability Program, we've also made it really easy to streamline the application process because you can generate a report in CASP and submit that on the Bee-Friendly Farming website. So really encourage you to look at both those programs. The Almond Board is helping reduce the costs, and there's some great staff in both those organizations who can come out and help you figure out how to do this on your operation and get the most for your pollination dollar and hopefully have a fantastic harvest again next year.
Great. Well, thank you for the good news. It's nice to get some good news once in a while, especially in a year like this. So we appreciate all the work of the Almond Board of California on behalf of the growers and the strategic partnerships that you've had here. Read more about these things in Pacific Nut Producer Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.